If you've been thinking about making a move to Fort Langley, BC, but you're not quite sure what to expect from the neighborhood, then you've come to the right place. As someone who grew up in Langley and currently lives in Fort Langley, I have a ton of knowledge about Fort Langley that I'm super excited to share with you. But before I dive into all this good stuff, if you guys are finding value in my content, I will ask if you could hit that like and subscribe button to help me get my videos out to more people like you. If you want to book a call to talk about anything real estate, you can do so by clicking the Caileigh link in the description below, where we can set up a time to chat one-on-one and answer any questions that you might be having. So let's talk about Fort Langley's location. Now, Fort Langley is located in the Langley Township, not the Langley City Center. Fort Langley is to the east of Walnut Grove. It has Willoughby Heights and Salmon River on the southern portion, and this right here is Highway 1. And we have County Line Glen Valley on the east side. Up here, we've got the Fraser River, which you'll find at the most northern point of Fort Langley. The drive time to get to some important locations include about a 50 to 60 minute drive to Vancouver City, and taking the 216th exit to connect to Highway 1 is going to be the most efficient way to get to Vancouver from Fort Langley. It'll take about 50 minutes to get to the YVR airport. It's about a 50-minute drive to the Tawasin Ferry Terminal. The best way to get there is using Highway 17 on the Perimeter Road. It's about a 30-minute drive to the US border. Aldergrove border is going to be the quickest border to access from Fort Langley. A 20 to 25-minute drive to the Surrey SkyTrain, which currently is the closest SkyTrain to Fort Langley. There is a Langley City SkyTrain coming, but that's still going to be a few years away. It's going to take you about 15 to 20 minutes to get to all your big box stores such as Costco, Walmart's, all your main shopping centers that are located in Willoughby Heights. It'll be about a 25 to 30 minute drive to Abbotsford, and that's again dependent on traffic and the time of day that you go, because from 200th Street to 264th Street going eastbound between 3 p.m. to about 6:30 p.m. is always backed up. And you might want to consider taking that River Road to connect up to the 264th exit going the back road if you are coming from Fort Langley and looking to go out east. There's four main roadways that take you in and out of Fort Langley. We have 96th Avenue right here, and that provides service to Walnut Grove. And there's also 88th Avenue that takes you out to the western side as well. So both 96th and 88th Avenue connect to 216th right here. And this is the newly opened overpass that connects you to Highway 1. So if you're looking to go either west or east, I would recommend taking this overpass for access to Highway 1 as opposed to the 200th Street overpass, just because there's a lot of traffic and volume throughout Walnut Grove, and it's going to take you a lot longer. You can see here 96th and 88th Avenue also provide access to Golden Ears Way, where you can take the Golden Ears Bridge over to Pitt Meadows and at Maple Ridge. River Road sits on the northern portion of Fort Langley, and this is absolutely a beautiful drive. It goes right along the Fraser River, and a hot tip is that if Highway 1 is ever backed up and you need to get out east, taking River Road is beautiful, and it also connects you to either 264th or 272nd, which provides you access to Highway 1. So that might save you a little bit of time there. And lastly, the other road that connects in and out of Fort Langley is Glover Road. That takes you through to Willoughby. Glover Road is also the main strip that runs throughout Fort Langley, and that's where all the local businesses are situated on. So all your restaurants, coffee shops, and boutique stores are mostly located right on Glover Road. It's a really cool road to check out, whether you're walking or driving. There's always tons to see down Glover Road. Living in Fort Langley and relying on public transit is going to be a challenge. Commuting to and from Fort Langley truly does require you to have your own car. There is a bus that runs down 96th Avenue, although it's really hit and miss, but that bus does take you to the Carvoth Exchange Center, which is the main transit hub in Langley. It's not too far away. It's just that that bus doesn't run as frequently as you would probably hope that it would if you are relying on transit. The type of housing you're going to find in Fort Langley is a blend of old and new. So the newer area of Fort Langley is called Bedford Landing. That was constructed in 2010 by Park Lane Homes. Bedford Landing is a small community, and it's located on the north side of the train tracks. So right in this portion here, Bedford Landing provides people with a variety of different housing styles. They offer condos that have 55 age-restricted buildings and buildings that don't have any age restrictions. These sit right on the water, so they do come at a little bit of a premium compared to other condos in the Langley area. There's also some townhomes located in the Flatiron building, and these are zoned for live and work. So you're going to see some small businesses on the bottom level of the townhomes and then residential up top. Bedford Landing also provides row homes. These are townhomes without a strata fee. The row homes in Bedford Landing offer people 3 levels where you walk in on the main floor. You do get a yard, but it is quite small, but that shouldn't matter because there's so many trails and parks to enjoy that are just steps away from these row homes. There's a variety of of single family homes. The lot sizes again on these homes in Bedford Landing only range between 3,000 upwards of 6,000 square feet, the bigger lots being on the waterfront side. The more original portion of Fort Langley is on the south side of the train track. So it's just in this area here from Wright Street all the way to Hudson's Bay Street. And this is where you're going to find the Langley National Historic Site. They are constructing more townhomes and condos and building a new museum. Those are still under construction, but there will be some more townhomes and condo options available to Fort Langley soon. One trend that I'm finding in the older portion of Fort Langley is that all the original houses built in the 1970s, 1980s are being torn down, and there is a ton of new luxury properties that you're going to be seeing in Fort Langley. The lot size in the older portion of Fort Langley run anywhere from 7,000 square feet all the way up to half an acre. You're going to find houses that are on the septic system. They are on city water, but the city sewer has not yet come out to the original part of Fort Langley. It is in Bedford Landing. So homes in Bedford Landing are set up on the city sewer and water system. Because Fort Langley has so many unique qualities to it, such as local businesses, tons of trails, and just an overall great community feel, the houses in Fort Langley do come at a premium price compared to other homes in the Langley area. The condos in Bedford Landing offer 1 to 3 bedrooms, and they range for the 1-bedroom starting prices are around $600,000, so they definitely come at a premium, but that's again because of the lifestyle that Fort Langley offers. But generally, for any newer craftsman style homes, you're looking at around $2.5 to $3.5 million. So you get a massive wide variety. If you guys want specific pricing or recent sale prices, I encourage you to reach out to me and I can definitely provide you with that information. I'm going to talk about some of the highlights, and honestly, there is a lot to mention in Fort Langley. If you are someone that enjoys the outdoors, you're absolutely going to love Fort Langley. And even if you're not really into hiking or walking or anything like that, there's so much sightseeing that goes on in Fort Langley, just with all the restaurants that they have and the unique local businesses. If you want to just walk down Glover Road and poke around in the stores, you could spend hours doing so. There's tons of parks and walking trails. Some of my favorite include the Tavistock Point Walk that's located on Bray Island, just over the Glover Road Bridge. There's the Houston Trail that's a nice circular loop that's covered, so if it's raining or it's really hot outside, that would be a great one to check out. There's also Derby Reach, which is located right on the Fraser River. The Fort to Fort Trail runs from the Langley National Historic Site all the way out to Derby Reach, and that is a 15-kilometer trail that's absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend that one as well. There's a few parks. There's one right off Glover Road, and that's also home to the Fort Langley Night Market that will run throughout the summer months on Friday evenings. All of the trails on the routes that I just mentioned are bike and pet friendly as well. And if you are looking to get away and go on a camping trip, Bray Island's located on the northern part of Fort Langley, right over the Glover Road Bridge. That is an awesome location. You can hook your RV up and enjoy a weekend away camping while also taking advantage of all of Fort Langley's amenities. I do have a Fort Langley amenity guide. If you guys want a copy of that, just let me know and I can send it your way. I don't have a restaurant I don't like in Fort Langley. Beatnik's Bistro is one of my favorites though. And the one thing I do like about all these businesses, again, is that they're locally owned. So they all have a very unique charm to them. Saba Bistro is also great. They have a cafe and a restaurant location now. Wendell's is a classic that sits right on the corner of Mavis and Glover Road. That's been around here forever. They have unreal food, and you can also sit outside under the heaters and enjoy a glass of wine or beer if you're into that as well. Fort Langley also offers residents their very own grocery store called Lee's Market. If you're a coffee lover, I highly recommend you check out Republica Coffee. You can get some of their coffee beans to go. I love their espresso beans. Unreal. 10 out of 10 recommend. Honestly, the list of local businesses there goes on and on. There's also a brewery called Trading Post located on Glover Road and 96th Avenue. They have a full restaurant there and also brew some unreal beers. The Fort Pub is an absolute classic. You're probably going to find me there if you frequent Fort Langley. One of my favorite things to do there is go on Thursday nights where they have music bingo. Aside from the restaurants and coffee shops, there's some clothing boutique and really unique stores where you can find some cool keepsakes. There's also an antiques mall that's very popular in Fort Langley as well. If you are looking for something a little bit more generic, such as Save on Foods or more of your chain restaurants and drive-thrus, Walnut Grove is only about a 5 to 8 minute drive away using either 96th Avenue or 88th Avenue. If you're like me and you love to golf, there's 3 golf courses all within about a 2-minute drive. We have Redwoods Golf and Country Club, Fort Langley Golf and Country Club, and Belmont. Of those 3, my personal favorite is Redwoods, and that also has a driving range and a nice practice facility as well. Fort Langley has two main schools. We have Fort Langley Elementary, which runs grade K to 7, and there's also the Langley Fine Arts School, which goes all the way from grade K to grade 12. The Langley Fine Arts School, as you can guess it, specializes in theater and arts programs. If you're not big into theater and arts, the closest catchment high school other than the Fine Arts School would be D.W. Poppy, located in Salmon River. There's also a Wind and Tide preschool that's located right beside Fort Langley Elementary. The closest hospital is located in Murrayville, so that's going to take you about 15 to 20 minutes to get to by car. The local police station is also right next to the Langley Hospital in Murrayville, and there's a fire station located on 96 and 208th Avenue, and there's a second fire hall located right in the heart of Fort Langley along 96 and Glover Road. Before I wrap up this video, some things that you might not like about Fort Langley include mosquitoes in the summer. They can be quite brutal. Sometimes during the months, especially in June, the end of June and beginning of July, sometimes it's very hard to even go outside. Like, they can be that bad. It depends if the township sprays or not that specific year. And also, I have noticed that it is getting extremely busy on the weekends in Fort Langley. So if you are trying to get in and out of your home, sometimes that can be a little bit of a frustration just because there's a lot of foot traffic for people that are enjoying the amenities, parks, and trails that Fort Langley has to offer. I hope this video has helped provide you with some insight on what life in Fort Langley might be like should you choose to live in this specific neighborhood. If you guys have any questions that I might have missed or want further information on some of the housing prices, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer any of your questions. And if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button, it really helps me get my content out to more people like you. These videos do take me quite a bit of time to do, so I would greatly appreciate that. If you want to book an appointment with me to talk about anything real estate, you can do so below by clicking the Calendly link. Thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you soon.